with the recruits. Let's continue to do the appointments. Let's continue to do the numbers. Let's keep our mindset, our mental set together. Geely and Taylor do a good job about doing that individually and as a team. So we believe it, we'll do it. If you believe that you'll get 30, I believe you'll get 20. If you believe you'll get 100, then I believe you'll get 50. It's all in the mindset. So screw this 20. Let's think about 100.
Let's do bigger. You're right, man.
100 Life Premium, so we can get what we need.
You're right. Let's go.
To our next RVP in line, our wonderful field trainer, our friend, our business partner. Let's give it up for Taylor. Let's go.
Let's give it up to Sean. Sean, lighten it up. That's what I'm talking about. I had to come in blasting for you, man. Hey, Sean, that ain't easy. That ain't easy bringing the energy, man. I love it. But you're right. We got to think bigger, man. You're absolutely right. We have powerhouses on this team. Just from the leaders that you're looking at right here, we got powerhouses that could be able to get some things done. So this is what this training is focused on. If y'all see our coach, our fearless leader, Geely isn't able to jump on right now. She said that this is leadership development night. Okay, we love it. We love last minute plays. Okay, leadership development night. She said that we could be able to get this thing done. So let's make sure over the next 40 minutes, however long that we have with each other, that we give it 110%. She's going to be watching this recording. We want her to see that the training that she's been giving us for the past 6 months, past 9 months, is going into full effect. Y'all are right with that? Y'all okay with that? Okay. Yep. This is also going on YouTube as well. So we want to make sure that we look good and that we bring the energy. So what we're going to do tonight, and I'm so excited about this too, is, this is a smaller team than what we usually have on. And what I see, the way I see that is two different ways. Is one, this allows us to be able to really dive in deeper and get that one-on-one training that when we have a lot of teammates, we're not usually able to get. So that's a benefit right now. But the growth mindset is thinking, listen, we got to trim the edges a little bit. Okay, we got to trim the edges a little bit. If we have some teammates who maybe aren't really plugging in and aren't showing up anymore, guys, that's the numbers. So let's get rid of the mental clutter and go get some more. Let's go get rid of the mental clutter and go get some more so that we could really understand that we got to explode to this. We only got a couple more months before we're going to the convention. We have a major goal of promoting Chris and Geely to senior vice president. And that's going to take that's going to take an enormous amount of effort from us as teammates. And by us understanding that even though we're small right now, we can literally change our lives within 90 days. And so it starts with stuff like this, y'all. It starts with the mindset, but also developing our skill set. So what we're going to do tonight, Joe, who's really been one of our most consistent teammates over the past couple months with putting up numbers, but more importantly, being coachable. He is actually going to be teaching our future licensed teammates who are either live or going to be watching the recording on appointment setting. Now, some of y'all have maybe seen it before, but he's going to be going live and actually role playing so that you can get that experience. And Joe is one of the best at showing you what to do and what not to do. Can we agree on that, Joe? You've gotten a little bit of experience on both ends, haven't you?
Agreed.
Okay. So both experiences. And so what's nice about this is that this is going to be a question and answer session, a role playing session overall. So you're going to be going into the breakout rooms here in a second. Demora, if you could be able to help with that, assigning to the breakout rooms. And then for anybody who's licensed with us, you are actually going to be staying here in this room. And we're going to be doing some live role playing on life insurance scenarios. We're going to try to get through 2 scenarios. We're going to spend about 30 minutes in these breakout rooms. And then we're going to come back with a closing message so we could be able to do this right. Y'all sound good with that? Share through presenter view and show you how I will actually do an appointment with somebody and have this up as my cheat sheet. Okay. So watch this. Let me see here. All right. So I'm actually going to share the presenter view. This is not what you would usually share with people. Okay. You would not usually share this with folks. But the reason why I want y'all to see it is so that you can be able to look at the notes that I am adding and have added for us to be able to use. All right. Now, who's seen this presentation before? How does life insurance works? Okay, Sean, very good. So you've seen this. No, Demorel, thank you so much. So you've seen this, Sean. This is the ultimate cheat sheet, and here's why. Demoral, you'll remember this. When we first got started before Zoom, we would use a yellow pad to teach people live on what type of life insurance they had. We would have a couple of different examples. You remember, Demoral, we would have a couple of different policies that we would have. You have a cash value, you've had a term that you've replaced. So when it comes to finding out what type of life insurance they had, you could pull it out. Demoral, you remember doing that?
Yeah, I remember. I still got it.
Okay. You still got it, right? So it's perfect for live presentations. But Sean, if you're doing something on Zoom, we don't have that power anymore to be able to explain it. So I created this in 2020, and I've revamped it as to keep it updated so that you can still have that power. There are policy examples at the end of this presentation, but what I would usually draw out is on these slides. Now, what I'm going to be adding in these note sections is an area where, Demoral, I know that you know this, Denise, I know that you know this, Sean, you know this stuff already, but this is going to be really good to teach teammates so that they know that they have some training wheels that they can be able to use on a presentation. Make sense so far, Denise? Okay. So there's 4 different types of life insurance. There's 4 different scenarios of life insurance. There's somebody who has no life insurance. Maybe they're single with kids or married, single with kids or married with no kids, married with kids. There's group insurance, there's cash value, and there's term insurance. Now I have it color coded as best as I can to make it make sense with big things right here. This presentation you can share live, but you would do the audience window. You can pull this up. So I want to give y'all a scenario. Okay. Denise, you're sitting down with somebody 30 years old. They are single with no kids. We're only going to probably go over the life insurance section, no life insurance. Denise, they're single with no kids. Okay. You get to the presentation, a good part of the presentation, or you can ask them if they have life insurance. Okay. You can ask them if they have life insurance. I would have this presentation ready to go on my end without sharing it. If I were y'all, I would have this presentation pulled up in the background so that it's my cheat sheet that I can access without having to show the person just yet. Give me a thumbs up or raise your hand if it makes sense. Okay. So, Denise, you get to the presentation where you ask this question. Let's go ahead and go live and read this first paragraph right here. From do you have life insurance? The last word important. Go ahead and do that live with me. I am single with no kids. Go ahead, Denise.
Do you have any life insurance outside of work?
No, not really. No, I haven't really thought about it.
Okay. Has anyone ever showed you the value and the need for life insurance?
No, nobody's ever really sat down with me. You know, I've heard about it, but I've never, really thought about it.
Well, that's great because this is a really good opportunity to learn
Thank you.
about life
Thank you.
insurance. Can we take a few minutes to go over the 4 reasons why life insurance is important?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I meant to change it to 3, y'all. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So watch this now. It's 3 reasons. Sorry. So now, perfect. Love the tonality, Denise. That's what counts. That's awesome. Love that enthusiasm. So now what I would do if I were you is, because I already have this ready, I already know where to go in the presentation, I would share the audience window of the screen. So where all they would see is this. Now, if y'all don't know how to share the audience window just yet, I will repost the 2 different ways that I've taught how to be able to do that, through video and through Scribe. But in the instance, Demora, all they would see is this window. But then you would go through word for word for this. So let's role play, Demora. I know that you know this stuff by heart. I know that you have your own twist on things, but for the example purposes, I would love for us to do this live. Okay, go ahead. Read this. You'll have this full paragraph right there.
Okay. Now, what is the cost of life insurance typically based on?
I don't know. I guess maybe your age. If you're If you're able to get it, I don't really know.
Right, right. Yeah, that's one factor. So it's going to be it would be your age and your health. Sometimes that's some of the factors. Now, can we
Okay.
agree that we're never going to get any younger?
Yeah, we can agree on that. I wish I would, but yeah, you're right.
I bet I know we all do.
Hmm.
Now, and can we also agree our bodies aren't made to get any healthier?
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm trying. I'm working out a lot, but I'm trying, but you're right.
Right, right. And I understand that. So doesn't it make sense to get a policy that will cover more in the future, but you can lock it in for a cheaper price right now?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Very good, Demoral. Very good. Love the tonality. And I also like how you gently coached me to this. Okay. If somebody, Sean, if somebody says they say, I don't know where you're born, the car you drive that's what the insurance, I don't know. If they say something silly like that, you don't want to tell them that they're silly. Okay. Nobody wants to may feel dumb, but you could say, that's close. Demoral, that's exactly what I say. That's close. But it's actually usually based on age and health. So this right here, let me tell you what we got here. Why do we ask these questions? We want to get the yes momentum. Sean, this is going to require a yes. Boom. This is going to require a yes. This is going to require a yes. We need the yes momentum going. And so these are all questions that they know the answer to, but it also works in our favor for yes. Now, let me show y'all what is on this screen here. Okay. Before we go to the second reason, what they're seeing is the reason why they will probably get the answer right tomorrow is because it says age and health right here. Okay. The reason why they'll probably get the answer right is because it says age and health right here. Okay. Yeah. And then you're going to go to the second reason. So before I go any further, does anybody have any questions on the first reason why people should get life insurance, even if they have no kids? Sounding good? Okay. Now let's go to the second reason. All right. And if there's typos, y'all just do your best with it. Okay. Work with me on this. I typed it up real quick before around 5 o'clock today, or my time. So go ahead, Sean. I would love for you to be able to cover this full paragraph right here.
All righty. Okay. Let me move you out the way. I'm going to move your video out the way. Okay. All right, Taylor. So the second reason you want to have life insurance is called a living benefit. A lot of life insurance is just for when you pass away, but we have a benefit called a terminal illness benefit rider. Does health insurance usually cover everything, especially when it comes to a terminal illness?
No, not at all. You'd be lucky. Sometimes they try to fight it.
So Taylor, this is a great thing about our insurance. If you were to get diagnosed with a terminal illness, wouldn't you feel much more secure having access to thousands of dollars to take care of any expenses?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So doesn't it make sense to have access to this benefit just in case you develop a terminal illness?
For sure. Absolutely. And guess what you could do, Sean? That was great. Love the tonality. Love you getting directed straight to the point. If you wanted to, remember, people are going to read this. Okay. People are able to read. So they will probably read this, but if you wanted to, you can hit on this too. I
can go into that after it says take care of any expenses. I go into, you have access of over 40 to 70% of the death benefit while alive with no penalties. So that's about $250K to $400K with the terminal illness benefit rider. So that'll take care of your medical bills if you want to do holistic treatments. And then if you want to do a bucket list with the family, you'll be able to do all of that after finding out you have a terminal illness. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome. That is it right there. Sean, how do you feel? Thank you, D, for jumping in, okay? How do you feel, Sean, going over that right there?
Yeah, comfortable.
Comfortable. You've seen it a couple times. But here's the biggest thing. Watch us, right? When we learn something, it is then our responsibility to teach other people.
Right.
Even though we've seen this, it's our job to get so good at this that we can teach other people, but also show folks how simple it is. Denise, somebody's a brand new teammate. They've done a couple presentations. They've seen you go over this part right here. During the end of the drill for skill after the appointment, I would say to you, Denise, you know how I went through that with cost of life insurance? I was able to talk about that. Remember how you were able to see that?
Yeah.
If I told you that I was reading from a script, so I didn't have to memorize all that stuff, can we agree you could probably do the same exact thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
System, simplicity, making sure that it works. Okay. So now let's go through the third reason. All right. Now this is going to take a lot of empathy. This is going to take some pauses because you're going to really get emotionally tied with somebody. And I'm going to do this live with you, Denise. Okay. So Denise, the third reason why you want to have life insurance is because we all have that person we love and care about. You know, maybe they don't struggle maybe they struggle financially, maybe they don't, but I know that person for me was my mom. Okay. I always knew that if something happened to me, I would want her to be taken care of no matter what. Denise, I got a question for you. Who is that person for you?
Probably sister,
Sister. And what's your sister's name?
Mary.
Mary. Okay, Mary. So watch this. Thank you for sharing that, right? So how would it make you feel knowing that even though you are no longer here, Mary wouldn't have to struggle to take care of anything financially for you?
That would be awesome. She's struggled a lot in her lifetime, and yeah, so it definitely would make me, well, obviously feel better, but it helps to know that she'll be taken care of.
For sure. And by the way, excuse me, y'all, this bullet point isn't supposed to be here. It's supposed to say deliver a check. This is supposed to say deliver a check because then what I would say, Denise, if you knew that you can leave tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to Mary, to where she was able to take care of you, but also that you could really bless her, so she wouldn't have to struggle financially. Can we agree that that'd be awesome?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So doesn't it make sense to have something in place so your family never has to struggle?
Yep.
These are the three reasons why we always encourage people to have life insurance. You know, even if they don't have, a spouse with some kids, it doesn't matter. That's actually why I bought life insurance myself because I wanted to be able to get taken care of. I bought life insurance when I was 19 years old. And so if we were able to help you get a plan that not only fits within your needs, but also your budget, Denise,
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
that make sense for you?
sure would.
Perfect. And if we were also able to show you how much money you need to have at retirement so that you can live your golden years the way that you need to, would you want to see that as well?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. What we're going to do is let's take about 7 to 10 more minutes, and I'm actually going to pull up what we call our mobile financial needs analysis. This is where it's going to show you how much life insurance you need, but it's also going to be able to show you really what your financial independence number is. Are you okay if we take another 7 to 10 minutes?
Sure.
Perfect. And then we close. That's how you get to it. Now, Denise, Sean, what questions or thoughts do you have on what we just covered there?
I'm good.
Good. Okay. Sean, you seeing this? How are you feeling when it comes down to you breaking it down, but also teaching it?
I'll be able to do both.
Love
No
that.
problem.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Denise, how are you feeling? Have you seen something like this before?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I think about a
Very
month
good.
ago or so you went through this, I believe.
Love it.
5 weeks. Yeah. But it's definitely very beneficial to us agents. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because when we're out there giving the presentation, you repeat it enough and you can kind of look at the script and kind of go off the cuff about it. And really
Exactly.
explain it in your own words.
Exactly. 100%. That's the goal. That's the goal of it, is to, get it down to where you just referring to it really makes sense. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually go over, let me go off cuff real quick. Out of these other 3 scenarios, there's cash value life insurance. Somebody has cash value. Somebody has group insurance, and somebody has term insurance that's either cheaper or they just had it for a while. Which one of those scenarios would you actually want us to be able to practice on right now? Because we have a few more minutes.
I'm sorry, what was it? Group, term,
Group insurance, cash value, or term insurance?
cash value.
Cash value. Okay, Sean, what about you?
Mine will be term because cash value, you know, we can already know, but doing the term because it matches ours. So
Okay.
I
So
will want
what
to
I'm
know.
gonna let me do this. I'm gonna do term insurance. I'm gonna bust through that, and then I'm gonna do the cash value insurance. Okay. See what we could be able to do. Now, I do not have the notes written up just yet on how to be able to explain it word for word like what we just did. But I'm gonna go off of my from what I know, and then I'll type it up so that y'all can be able to have access to it. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So the way that I would explain this, hold on one second. I just got a message from. Please hold. All right. Oh, y'all can't see my screen, huh?
No,
Girl, please, Lord, help me. I'm sorry. I'm getting it, y'all. I promise. I heard what did Jimmy say? I heard that a good speaker will mess up to show people that that we're all human. That's what I heard. Ain't that right, Denise?
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing me on. Okay. So let's say we're in the presentation. Okay. We're in the presentation, and I get to a good section where I'm going to be able to ask them about life insurance. Okay. About what they have. All right. So I would have it to where I would say this, and Sean, I'm going to go live with you since you want to be able to practice this. All right. So Sean, let me ask you something. When it comes to life insurance, do you have anything outside of work right now?
Yes, I do have term insurance.
Great job. Excellent. And so just to make sure the term insurance has no type of cash value savings at all. Is that right?
That's right. That's the one we're doing
Okay.
right. Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right. Or first off, I want you to know something. Great job on having life insurance outside of work. Sean, like 1 out of 3 people in America have no type of life insurance. So the fact that you're protected is a big deal. Good work on that, man.
Thank you.
For
Thank you.
sure. For sure. Now, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, since we're here. When did you actually get your term insurance policy? How long ago was that?
It's been about 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Fairly new. So about 3 years ago. And do you happen to know how many years you have left on your term policy?
I have about 22.
22. So it's a 25-year policy. Is that right?
Correct.
Perfect. Do you happen to know how much coverage you have as well?
It's at 300,000.
Good work. That is phenomenal, man. So you got it. Again, if for the people who do have life insurance, Sean, most people are underinsured. They don't have enough to replace their income. So here's two last questions I have for you. In 22 years, okay, how young will you be in 22 years?
I'll be 66.
66, nice and young, okay? The question I have for you is, are you 100% positive that at the end of your term, so when you're 66 years old, that you won't need 1 cent of coverage anymore? Are you 100% positive?
I'm not 100% positive about that.
Okay.
I just got started doing investment for my retirement, so I may have to work a little bit.
Just a little bit longer. If we can retire sooner, that'd be great. But even if are you planning to stay in your house that you're in right now for forever, for 22 years, or do you think that you might,
for
get a new
22
house?
years. Well, when I retire, I'm getting an RV and I'm living off cruises.
You going? Okay, I love that. All right, so you got to have the retirement fund for that. So, but you know that you might have to stay a little bit longer, and so you
Right.
would still want to be protected, I assume, until you get to that retirement income. Is that right?
That's right.
So when it comes to your term insurance policy, Sean, if you found out that your policy will leave your family financially devastated sooner or later, you would want to know about that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can we take a few minutes to go over exactly how your policy works? And I'll actually show you on screen. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, perfect. So let me pull up exactly how this works. Now, When your insurance agent sat down with you, okay, is that a family friend? Is it somebody that you just kind of found on the internet? How do you know?
Just somebody that was selling life insurance.
Okay, perfect. So when they sat down with you, did they tell you what happens at the end of your term when that after the 25 years?
They did say something about maybe renewing or something, but
But didn't go into a lot of details, right?
right.
I would love to show you the details that you want to be aware of. Okay. So once your term ends, Sean, you're going to have three options. The first option that you're going to have is that they're going to allow you to renew at your current coverage. You have
Okay.
300,000. And who's the insurance with, by the way? State Farm.
Allstate. State Farm.
Allstate.
Okay.
Okay, that's perfect. State Farm. Okay. So what State Farm is going to tell you to do is that they're going to allow you to renew at another $300,000.
Okay.
Here's the challenge is that the premium is going to go up drastically because
I'll
it's
be
based on your
66.
correct. It's based on your age and your health.
Okay.
Okay. So the premiums, we've seen it as high as 20 times the current premium and as low as 10 times your current premium. Now, I didn't ask you, how much are you paying a month right now for your policy? Just off the top of your head.
It's like 101.
So I'll pause really quick. It's probably if the State Farm is notoriously known for being super cheap, right?
Yeah.
So with 300,000, it's probably going to be closer, especially at your age, it's probably going to be like $65, $70. It's going to be cheaper, right? So let's say you say $66.
Okay.
So it's super cheap right now, Sean. But here's the problem. Even if it was 10 times the amount for the current premium, can we agree?
$650.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you. Okay. Here's my question for you. It doesn't matter if you hit the lottery. Do you believe that you are going to be able to financially pay an increase in premium like that?
No, that's taken away from my cruise money.
That's crazy. Okay. So here's what will happen. They're not going to give you an option to lower your coverage to fit within your budget. So
Okay.
that's a bad option, but they're going to give you a second option. That's a bad one. This is a second option. They're going to give you an opportunity to convert to whole life insurance. Now, Sean, you've just seen the client example. We've just talked about how whole life insurance works. And
Right.
you said yourself, you would not want the left side, would you?
No.
So we know that you will buy two products, but you only get one. So can we agree that this is a bad option, number one, but this is a worse option?
Yes, definitely.
So here's the last option that most people are forced in choosing when they have other term insurance. They will have to convert to an annual renewable term.
Wow.
And the way that annual renewable term is this, is you're 66 years old and you will be able to get a policy that's good for 1 year. But here's the problem. You're going to have to prove insurability every year. And Sean, insurability means that you're going to have to take a health screening.
Oh my God, every year?
Every year. Sean, the good Lord did not create our bodies to get better as we age. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, I agree.
So if your health has changed, you will most likely be declined in coverage. So
Wow.
Sean, you will have paid all this premium and you will most likely not get the coverage. So this is bad, this is worse, and this is worser. Okay, Duval County education. I don't think that's a word, but that's where it's at. Based on these three options, would you want any of these right here?
Absolutely not.
So guess what most people have to do, Sean? They end up dropping their policy at the end of the term.
Wow.
You've paid all that money in. Can I show you what Primerica does instead?
Yes.
See, we understand that we may not be the cheapest when it comes to term insurance, Sean, but we know that we give people options where they are not backed into the corner like other companies. We're going to give you three options that goes from here. This is going to be flexible. Your first option that you have is you can renew at your current coverage. So I'm going to give you an example. Right now, I have $625,000 in coverage on me. My wife has almost $300,000 in coverage on her, and we are paying is it $101, $109 a month, something like that.
Okay.
Our coverage is going to renew in about 20 years.
Okay.
But because we have been paying the appropriate amount of life insurance, Primerica doesn't have to jack up our rates to catch up. This is one of the reasons why our premiums will only increase 3 times to 5 times my current premium. And we have the best renewal rates in the industry. Now, Sean, I have $625,000 in coverage. I renew at 55. $100 to $300, that's still a pretty penny. Can we
Right.
agree on that? Okay. If I can afford it, let's do it.
Right.
But let's say that I don't want this option. First off, we will never convert you to whole life. Never.
Right.
We don't sell that. So here's my second option. I have the ability, Sean, to lower coverage, my coverage amount, if I still need life insurance. What this does is this keeps my premium within my budget. And my favorite part is I never have to prove insurability. Once I'm covered, I'll never have to answer a medical question, so I won't be declined in the end if I want to renew my coverage. I'll
Got
give
it.
you an example. When I'm 55 years old, our need for life insurance is going to decrease, Sean, because we're going to own
Right.
our house, we're going to be debt free. So I might not need 625,000 in coverage. Maybe I only need 300,000. And that'll
Right.
still keep my premium at $100. Can we agree? I'll still be able to have it. I'll still get something when my family will still get something when I pass away.
Yes. Yes.
See, again, Primerica may not be the cheapest, but our policies pay out because we know that we're going to eventually deliver a check. And if we were able, Sean, to get you the appropriate amount of coverage and still keep it within your budget, maybe we're not as cheap as $66, but if we were able to still keep it within your budget, would you be willing to look at those options?
Yes, I'll be willing.
And if I was also able to show you how much you and Janice need to have at retirement so that y'all can buy your RV, so that you can travel on those cruises and you won't run out of money in your golden years, would you want to see that as well?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So why don't we do this? Let's take another 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to show you what we call our mobile financial needs analysis. It'll show you how much life insurance you need and how much you can get with your budget, and also show you what your financial needs analysis is. And if we're
Okay.
able to make sure that all that works, would you be willing to actually submit your application tonight if it makes sense?
If it makes sense,
Perfect. Let's go ahead and get started.
let's go.
And that's it. Now, Sean, I think you've only seen that once, maybe twice. Okay.
Right.
When it comes down to it, how would you feel going through that if you were going through that, or if you were on the client side for that?
If I was on the client side, what you mean?
How would you feel if I just went through all of that right there?
I'll feel that as well explained. Yeah.
Okay.
I have enough
Would you feel like
information
you're
to make a decision.
correct? Would you feel like a salesperson?
No, I would feel like it's just information.
Okay, very good. Denise, any questions or anything to add up like that?
No, it was pretty self-explanatory, and you were really clear on, what the advantages are to our term, Primerica term. But may I iterate something?
Absolutely.
So I don't remember what he was paying per month, but after 10 years, it spiked up to like $3,000 a month.
For sure.
Crazy.
For sure.
So glad we got him out of that and into something definitely
Love
better.
that. Good job, Denise. You know who's the most notorious? Sean, with you being in Jacksonville, you're going to run into a lot of military folks who have USAA.
Yeah.
USAA is notorious for being the cheapest that anybody can find, but the renewal rates are outrageous. We actually have policy examples to be able to go over that. Okay. To be able to go over that. So you want to be able to have it. Thank you for sharing that, Denise. What I do want to show you all this really quick. Okay. When it comes to cash value, we have 3 different examples. Okay. 3 different examples. We don't have time to go over it tonight, but I challenge y'all to be able to take a look at this. When y'all have some downtime, take 15 minutes to start practicing this stuff. Okay. If you want to use the refrigerator example, we have it on there. If you want to use the breakdown of how cash value life insurance works, you can just use that instead. If you want to use what we call the funny banking example, that's my favorite one to use. You can use that too. I have it on all of these slides. So let me show you what that looks like. When you're talking about cash value life insurance, I would always read this. I would talk about this, Sean, and here's why. Sean, you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. Here's why, is because you want to be able to let people know, especially y'all are going to run into people who think they know more than you. You're a licensed teammate. You've gone through the course. They think that they know more than you. And so without you telling them that you know more, you can bring these things up so that they can know that you know what you're talking about. Okay. Have you ever been told this? And I would read this. I would wait for the answer and go through that. Okay. This is the refrigerator example. If you've never seen this and if you want to go through this, set up a time with me. I'll send my link. Okay. You can set up a time and I'll actually role play with this with you on how to do this. This is really, really great for those who need more of a picture, who you can tell maybe they need a little bit more interaction. All right. This is part of that refrigerator example. This example is for those who are a little bit maybe straightforward. Okay. This is for those who are red. All right. They don't need a bunch of examples. Just go through it. Okay. Then you show what we do. This is good for red and green, by the way. Those colors. Okay. And that's what I go through. This is really good for those who maybe are relationship oriented and you want to talk about, you want to make it a little bit more fun. Okay. You want to make it a little bit more fun. The funny banking example, and you can read this sucker word for word if you wanted to, but it creates a lot of interaction. The reason why it's good for red and blue is because, Denise, you're going to get a lot of yes momentum. You're going to get a lot of feedback with people. And so if you have any questions on this is where we want to be able to roll with it. Okay. We want to be able to have y'all ready for that. Sounds good? Yep. To add from what y'all talked about in training tonight.
Just the biggest thing that I added, I was telling them I would have learned earlier. Have fun. Don't view this as a pressure thing. Like you gotta, don't think of it that way. Just have fun.
So true.
And just look at it like I'm introducing something to people and I'm meeting people and having conversations with people.
That's so true.
And if you are nervous talking to people, usually ask them, do they know someone? Usually they don't like to be passed over, and that'll answer 3 questions at once. That'll answer if they're interested, that'll answer, do they actually know someone? It'll also tell you if they know a lot of people.
That's good, Demorial. That's so good.
I agree 100%. I put up so many barriers, in front of me of why I couldn't do this or couldn't speak to this person or follow up with this person and so forth. But they were all created by me and really unnecessary. Because once I started getting after it, I realized I didn't need them.
Thank you for the transparency on that, because that's big. Here's my question for both of y'all before we close this thing out. Joe, and you probably talked about this with Miss Peggy, but I want everybody who watches this recording to hear it. Joe, what do you think are the 1 or 2 things that you did to be able to build your confidence, but also kind of break those barriers down?
Practice, one. Practice. Recording myself was huge. Recording myself and playing back and hearing it, and improving was huge. And then I think just listen to as much content as you can. Trainings are great, and we had to show up at trainings. Things got a lot better when I consistently started showing up to trainings.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have PFS Media and all these outlets to listen to different leaders, and so that helped me a lot too. Between the trainings and listening to different leaders and so forth, I've kind of honed in on Joe Ward.
Love him, Uncle Joe.
Just kind of said some things that, like them aha moments.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, I can do that. So yeah, I think those 2 things.
I love that. I love that you dropped a lot of nuggets there. And Joe, thank you again for your transparency, because you've been on a tear. We've seen it. We have literally seen the change in you over the past couple months, and you just saying, hey, listen, I'm practicing, I'm recording myself practicing. That's very uncomfortable. I did that too. I still do it every once in a while. I'll record myself to see how I'm sounding.
Mhm.
You know, see what it looks like, and then replaying it back. That takes. I mean, that's uncomfortable hearing your voice, but also, right, Joe? Okay,
Definitely.
Denise, that's weird, you know. But doing that, that's what winners do. You know, that's those who do. You know, and then you know, putting yourself in school. You know, this is the reason why we call Saturday morning trainings RVP University is because Primerica is literally a university. You know, and the good thing is that you can make money and get your degree faster than 4 years if you want to, right? Your degree might be district leader, regional leader, RVP, whatever it may be, but by you putting yourself in school through PFS Media, like what Joe said, through you going to the Primerica app, Miss Peggy, you download the Primerica. Well, you could download it on your computer, but you have access to that Primerica online. You can watch a 5-minute video and you're in university putting yourself together, and that's what winners take from that. Demora, I don't want. Thank you, Joe, for sharing that. Demora, what do you think are 1 or 2 things that you've been doing in order, because you've started plugging in a lot more often. You're a busy man, but you've been really making things happen. You got a lot in the pipeline. What do you think is the change that you've made over the past couple months that has helped you really shift your focus again and build that pipeline like what you're doing?
Well, one, I would start with partnership. That was a big thing that I really needed, but I didn't know what I needed in it. So I had to learn what I needed in a partnership. And not just me, Eric and I needed to know what we needed in a partnership. And that was, you know, what our strengths were. And we had to learn what those were. Sometimes you don't, it took me a while to even learn my own strength was. So, you know,
I remember you learning through that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so I had to learn that. So that'd be the first thing. But second thing was just to get out of my own head in a way.
Mhm.
Big.
Yeah, stop assuming, as I want to say. I had this assume mentality.
Mhm.
Assuming what?
Like I would assume, I would see the guy in the Rolls Royce or the nice car or dressed nice, and I would assume, oh, he's straight. He don't need us. Oh, I would see the person working in the cashier working in the store late at night. I would think, nah, she ain't gonna be there. But by me thinking that, yeah, that person might not be, but I was forgetting they know people that might need something.
So good.
And again, people don't like to be passed over. So easy they put themselves in. And what I learned was the people who you think were doing really well wanted to do this. There's a difference. They wanted to, not needed.
Yep.
They wanted to. And
yes.
so what I found was, I asked myself, I said, if somebody presented this to me, where I am in my life now, we're not needing money, we're good, stuff like that, what would be the difference? And I said, oh, I would want to do this much faster because I see growth. But if I was someone who weren't here, I would want to do it because I would want growth and something better opportunity. So I had to think about what people wanted and what direction they want to go in. People who are doing well want to grow more. People who are not there want to grow more. You just got to feed them what they want.
I love that. I'm so sad. I didn't realize I was spotlighted still. I'm so sorry, y'all. Y'all weren't able to see Joe and Demoro's beautiful faces that whole time. Let me tell y'all something. We could have only did training on what Joe and Demoro just did, and we'd be done. We'd be done. Because there's so many nuggets in that, getting out of your own head, not judging people, not assuming that people are good, having the courage, 10 seconds of courage to be able to offer it. Demoro had 10 seconds of courage to talk and have a conversation with Joe in the store. And now we have somebody who's a future regional vice president, $100,000 a year earner, who's going to change thousands of people's lives because Demoro stopped judging and stopped assuming and was willing to get himself out of his head. Joe has helped a ton of people just in the past 90 days with investments, with getting them started, giving them an opportunity. And that's going to be a trickle effect from that. That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. And so that leads me, thank you for sharing, Demore and Joe. I truly appreciate that. That leads me into what I want to cover. As we go into our 10-day blitz, we only have 10 days until month end. Okay, who knows when month end is? If it's 10 days, what day does that land on? First, thank you. Okay, that's the right answer. It's a Friday, right? It's a Friday. So 10 days from now, starting tomorrow, we got to give it everything we got, y'all. And I know some of y'all who are watching this as a recording, this might just be a part-time side hustle for you. For some of y'all are just still kind of just seeing if this is something for you. But I really want y'all to know that we are playing not only for the back of our jersey, which is your name, but you're also playing for Team Primerica, but for truly believe Team Catalyst. All right. What we do in the next 10 days, I truly is going to paint the momentum that we need for our 90-day blitz to the Dome, to the convention. We have some people on here that I just want to become a district leader within the next 90 days. Need you to play that role. Some people want to become field trainers, be part of the junior broker mentorship role. We need you to play that. Some people want to become regional vice presidents in the next 90 days. Every single thing, thank you, Sean, every single thing that we do in the next 10 days is going to truly lay the foundation that we need to be explode as a team. Guys, we're getting Geely and Chris promoted to senior vice president. That's going to require 3 first-generation regional vice presidents within the next 90 days. Do you know how insane that goal is? Insane. 3 regional vice presidents, doable. Thank you, Joe. Doable. Right now, it does not seem probable. But our life can change in 90 days. Our life can change in 30 days. It just takes a compound effect of what we're doing. It takes us taking, I'm saying me, I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, y'all are just listening. It takes me changing habits. It takes me developing something different than what I've been doing for the past 90 days. Mm-hmm. And the good thing is all it is a decision. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that it starts with how we talk to ourselves. I truly believe that it starts with how we talk to ourselves. If somebody asks you who you are, what would you say? Write that down on a piece of paper. Not what do you do for work? Okay? Not I'm a father, because that's what you do, right? Not I'm a daughter, I'm a son. That's what you do. Who are you as a person? This past weekend, this past weekend while we were having a character building past cup week, I had to today write down who I am and really define that. And I've reminded myself that I'm an inspirational change maker. And if that's who I am, then I need to act upon that. I need to show that. How can I show that in a blessed platform? For me, it's through Primerica. Miss Peggy, who are you? Write that down. And if you don't want to share that with people, y'all don't worry about it, but write that down. And once you have that written down tonight, I challenge you tomorrow to read that and then do what you need to do to make that the truth. I'm a confident entrepreneur. Do what you need to do to make that the truth. I'm a life changer with the word. Do that, do that. Because that mindset shift, Joe, is going to challenge you to take it to the next level. Because you don't want to lie to yourself, right?
No.
So if I say to myself, I'm an inspirational change maker, and I don't do what the hell I need to do tomorrow, I'm lying to myself, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to let myself down. That's going to challenge me to make more phone calls than I've done over the past 90 days. That's going to challenge me to eat the crap faster, rejection, than I've done the past 90 days. That's going to challenge me to reach out to y'all more and take my intensity up than I've done the past 90 days, because I want to be an inspirational change maker. That's who I am. That's who I'm becoming. Who's following me so far? Listen, now I'm almost glad Geely wasn't on tonight, because from here on out, what we need to talk about is SVP. SVP. brand, that SVP. We're fighting for the name on the front of our jersey, but also doing it on the back. The back is going to reap. The back is going to get those efforts. We're promoting Geely and Chris, the senior vice president, by the convention. We have a 90-day blitz to be able to get that done starting in March. But what we do to do 20 recruits by 20,000 in premium over the next 10 days, we can truly be able to show us that we're making it happen. How do y'all feel about that right there?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's do it. Let's get it, okay? The intensity is going to ramp up on the chat. Joe, Sean, and Demora, if y'all can hang tight with me for that junior broker mentorship, I have a challenge for y'all, how we're going to amp this up. Listen, if you can, please, on the chat, please post the 1 or 2 things that you learned the most tonight in our team chat. Please do that. The 1 or 2 things that you learned the most. So people who missed it will understand. They don't, what did you say tomorrow? They don't want to be passed over, right? They will be able to understand there's a reason they got to show up to the trainings, but on top of that, they're going to watch the recording. So please post, don't assume, right? Thank you. Please post what you learned the most in the chat. I challenge everyone, and let's get after it tonight. I'm very grateful for each of y'all. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight, and I hope that y'all have a good night. Sean, Joe, and tomorrow, hang tight with me, y'all. Y'all have a good night, okay? Let me put.
Okay,
Let
good
me
night,
put.
you guys.
Good night, Miss Peggy. There you go, Sean. There you go. I got you. Hey, I'm gonna download that. Actually, that might be Erica's. Erica said that.